You want to do the picking? Yes.
Yeah, we'll start. Well, Tom Rubin, start off with a question.
My question is one of capacity.
Yes.
Given the demand, will both the heavy rail and the light rail systems be able to handle passenger loads? Given the limitations on consists, you probably can't do much about, unless you want to start lengthening stations. The limitations on headways, where there's just certain minimums, etc. Can you handle the demand?
I'd say with the subway, it's going to be really close. The Purple Line extension is going to be really close. The light rail, I feel very comfortable with. The subway is slave to one thing that most people don't think about, and that's ventilation. It's fire life safety. Simple as that. You have to have ventilation in subways. Right now we're running operation through the hills from Hollywood Highland to Universal City, and that's all one simple ventilation zone through there. Originally there was a ventilation shaft supposed to be a solar drive that was value engineered out at the time, I believe, or something along those lines. So that limits our capacity right through there. We can't put two trains in the same tunnel at the same time between the two stations. So as the train leaves Hollywood Highland, once it gets to Universal, then the next train can go in. So it's the travel times it's the capacity. We've actually operated that at 6-minute headways for a couple of marathons a few years ago. With just absolutely racked and stacked trains, and we couldn't even, that's right pushing the limit. Granted, the station stop in Universal was really long because of all the people on board the train. That's not a normal operating environment. But I'm thinking 5 minutes is the very best we can do through the hills. Ventilation is the prime mover on all this, because we can change train control to move trains as close together as we want to. That's not the factor. There's plenty of traction power down there. It's not an issue. It's all about ventilation.
What's the issue with ventilation? Specifically, what's the problem? Pushing the air through the tunnel, or?
Well, it has to do with fire life safety issues, and if something happens to a train inside that zone, then let's say a train has, here's the F word, the fire on a train, and if there's smoke, then you have to get that smoke out of there. So you ventilate the smoke out one way or the other way, depending on where the next train is. And there's a whole bunch of issues there, and that's why the double bore works very nicely for that. There's some other issues that float around about single bore concepts and things like that. I honestly don't know enough about it yet, the single bore, but that's the prime restricting point will be the subway. The light rail line should be able to handle whatever we can throw at it. We have to do is we have to be cognizant of the construction of the regional connector to make sure that we can handle, let's say, a 2-minute headway through there. Our ventilation can handle a 2-minute headway. We have 4 new stations, and the running time between the stations is roughly, like a minute and 30, minute and 40. So it sounds like it works. It would probably support a 2.5-minute headway.
So subway Tennessee, we've got 6 car consists, probably limited, assuming you're trading off with the red line, to 6, maybe 5-minute. Getting past that, perhaps possible, but very difficult. Is that enough to handle the ridership?
It's going to be crowded trains. You see, right now, if you look at our system right now, we don't know crowded. If anybody's been to New York, we don't know crowded. We're California casual when it comes to loading. People, I'm going to stand right here. Bart, you should stay right there. You're a little too close.
I'm California.
Wait a minute. No, this is too much. I'm getting off. That's what happens. People get off the train and wait for the next one. We have to get past that point because there's a lot of room on those trains. Each train can haul 1,000 people. It really can. And it's going to go to everything on our 450-foot platform. As you know, down in the system, You'll see everybody stand at the same exact location pretty much all the time to board the train. Right there at the end of the stairwell. We got to do better than that. We're going to have to come up with some creative ways of getting people to spread out on the platform. Because, you know, if you can do that, then you can get a whole lot more people in there a lot faster.
Vary the exit locations.
We gotta have the meeting, keep asking the questions. Eddie, did you have a question?
I did. It's more related to current operation.
Sure.
As far as the red line and the Union Station getting on the gold line,
Yeah.
there's a real problem. I use these lines almost daily, transferring to the gold line heading toward East LA. You miss it, and you gotta wait another 20 minutes to catch the next gold
At
line.
night?
Yes.
Which line are you riding? Riding purple or red?
This is usually the purple actually.
That's right. We have to pick one of the two branches to favor. Yeah, and so we favor the red because quite simply it has more stations. And on the red line we have the connection. The purple is just too tight to make the connection. And that is the way it is. Right, for right now. Anyway.
Okay, we're gonna go over here, and then Kurt's next, because Kurt's got the train with Eddie in. Okay.
You alluded to this earlier about street running causing you havoc.
Yes.
How much do you pad the schedules on the blue and will be the expo line and on the east side extension when you've got street running in your schedule?
The east side has probably 2 minutes of pad right now. The blue line has nothing. It has a little bit southbound, but we haven't really been forced into anything there because we've got a terminal at the north end. You can catch it up at the terminal. The south end's a loop, so we're not forced into anything there yet. As soon as the two lines are joined together, then all bets are off. We've got to make sure they hit them all at the time.
Okay, Kurt's next.
Boy, I have like three. Let me think.
Meet on me.
Yeah. Why can't they revalue engineer a ventilation shaft in the
Hollywood Hills?
yeah, or do like a two trains in the purple, one in the red kind of thing?
Oh, for the
with
junction,
scheduling?
that is conceivable for the junction. That may be the
So
way
you can
we
have
end
more
up.
head, like double the headway on the purple. if you
Yeah,
did.
that's actually very conceivable. Where
You probably don't need that much out in the hills.
well, it's a capped audience unless you go further north up the red, or out into the valley. So all we have is the stations that are there right now.
And related to that, I don't know the real reason why they can't, why they have to have a level junction
Well,
in the connector. Is there a way to spend money to get away from that problem?
but you just hit the key
Yeah.
phrase: spend money.
Sometimes it saves
The
you
nickels
money.
and dimes add up, and I'm definitely not a fan of flat junctions, but it is what it is right now. Not much I can do about it.
My third one is a green line question.
Yeah.
The original Prop A 1980 map showed a line from the valley to Long Beach. It's essentially kind of like,
Oh yeah.
it seemed to fall off the map along with, El Monte and Santa Ana.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
neither do I. That green line has had more possible routes than anything I've ever seen. I think right now the one that's still kicking around is something that's down to Long Beach via Torrance and then via the west side of the green line, then up through Westchester and what have you.
Those were broad corridors on that map, and that one was like the 405 all the way around.
Yeah. That's all I know right now.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we got a long
Thank
ways
you.
to go on that one. Sorry.
Dan Garcia will be next.
I have a concern about how are you going to put the ADA compliant when you have a descending how are you going to provide the accessibility for people who have wheelchairs?
Okay. I got ADA compliance.
I think I'll try to, Dan, if I'm not right, then kill me.
Sure.
But I think he's concerned in terms of wheelchairs and boarding, and if there'll be delays, and we'll work with the